It's almost time to find out who is going to be making it into this season's quarter-final stages of the Champions League. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video. Today's video is going to centre around the next couple of nights as Champions League round of 16 second leg ties. We've got 16 teams that are battling to make it into the final 8. And whilst after last week's first leg encounters, some games seem a little bit more predictable to predict than others, there is still plenty of football to be played. There's still some exciting and mouth-watering encounters for us to sink our teeth into. And this is going to be the video where we're going to be talking about each and every single game and seeing, or predicting, should I say, who will be making it into the final 8 of this season's competition. Before we get into all of that though, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you are new. Both things will always and very be greatly appreciated. Get involved in the comment section below. Let me know your thoughts, your comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, whatever you want to call it. That I'm sure will make for great and interesting reading down below. So please do use and abuse that comment section, people. And without further ado, we will get on with the video. We will talk about this conversation ourselves. Champions League, round of 16, second leg ties. And there's only really one place to start. We're going to go right to Liverpool versus PSG. That's taking place 8 o'clock tonight at Anfield. Anfield under the lights, Champions League knockout atmosphere. And Liverpool go into this game, of course, with a very narrow 1-0 lead, thanks to Harvey Elliott, who, of course, was the match winner last week. But let's not forget how Liverpool got here in the first place, thanks to the brilliant heroics and the incredible, phenomenal, monster-like performance from the best goalkeeper in the world, in my opinion, in Alisson Becker. He was on top form last week, and I would suspect that he will be called upon again at certain stages tonight when, of course, Liverpool take on PSG. I would strongly suspect Liverpool to handle the job from this point of view. I think with it being at home tonight, I think Liverpool will see a bit more of the ball. I think they'll be a bit more assertive. And if they can get their forward line firing on all cylinders, unlike they were last week, apart from that obviously one moment where, of all people, Darwin Núñez teed up Harvey Elliott to, of course, find the winning goal. I feel like Liverpool can cause some damage on the counter-attack against this PSG side. For PSG themselves, I don't think they'll be too disheartened by the events of last week. I think they'll be a bit frustrated. I think they'll be a bit annoyed. They had a number of opportunities. They were just unfortunate to come up against that incredible performance from Alisson Becker in the Liverpool goal. So they'll fancy their chances of turning this game around. It will be difficult because, of course, they are at Anfield this time around. They're not at home. So they are away from home. Away goals, of course, do not count in this level of the game anymore. So that may be a factor to forward into, that away goals don't mean double. PSG could score one, take it into extra time, and so on and so forth. But for Liverpool, it's just don't lose. It's as simple as that. And obviously, it's as easy to call as that. Just don't lose. A draw, a win, anything will be seeing Liverpool go through to the quarter-final stages of this season's Champions League, where they will meet either one of Club Brugge or Aston Villa. More on them a little later. But it's going to be a very interesting encounter. I'm hoping that Liverpool's fullbacks are really up for it. We saw last week that the wingers of PSG were absolutely tearing Liverpool apart, especially in the first half. Liverpool kind of regrouped a little bit and had a bit more structure and discipline about them in the second half. But in the first half, Kvaratskhelia in particular was absolutely immense. Barcola and Ousmane Dembele pretty much had Trent and Robertson on toast. So I'm hoping for a much more improved performance by the fullbacks. I'm hoping for a much more improved performance by the team in the final third. I think he's going to line up with Curtis Jones instead of like Luis Diaz. I think he's going to play the likes of that box midfield that we've seen him do in these kinds of big encounters with Gravenberch, McAllister, Szoboszlai and Jones. And I think he's just going to let Salah be Salah. And then as far as what it takes to be up front, Darwin Núñez put in a very good cameo against PSG last week. And of course he scored again at the weekend. So I think it would be crazy not to see if we can capitalise on this kind of form from Núñez by not putting him in from the start. So I would go Núñez up front, especially with his physicality, especially with his aerial presence as well. I think it will offer us a different outlet. The only, obviously, risk with that is that you don't necessarily know what kind of Darwin Núñez you're going to get. Are you going to get one that's going to step up to the occasion? Are you going to get one that is going to be calm, cool and collected, and one that is going to be useful? Or are you going to get one that is going to try too hard, overthink it, and pretty much be useless? That is the only risk you have with Núñez. But I'm hoping that Liverpool get the job done tonight. I think they will, with it being at Anfield, by any means necessary. Just don't lose the game. That is essentially what the game plan should be. But I'm anticipating a better performance from Liverpool overall from last week. I'm anticipating that it's still going to be tough. It's still going to be an extremely difficult game. But if Liverpool can handle the occasion and if Liverpool take this game correctly, they should see themselves through to the quarterfinal stages. So I'm going with Liverpool to hold their nerve and get past PSG in this game one way or another. Elsewhere tonight, Barcelona will be taking on Benfica, going into the game with a 1-0 lead of their own. Rafinha was the match winner, of course, last week, and I'm anticipating that with Barcelona being at home, they will get the job done tonight. I think that I was anticipating goals galore last week, especially considering how these two teams fared when they met each other in the Champions League phase earlier on in the campaign. So I'm anticipating there to be goals again tonight. I think it's going to be a more attacking approach, and of course it's going to be 11v11 for Barcelona this time around, at least for the opening minute or so. We shall see. Because obviously Barcelona were down to 10 men last week and still managed to come out on top. So massive game for Barcelona in that one, but I think they will get the job done against Benfica and will see themselves comfortably into the last 8 of this competition. Bayer Leverkusen versus Bayern Munich was actually not the game that I predicted. Munich absolutely slapped up Leverkusen in the first leg, winning by 3-0. Harry Kane was immense on the night. I would strongly suspect that Munich hold their nerve and we're not going to get any sort of miraculous comeback from Xabi Alonso's side, which is a little unfortunate considering that I have a soft spot for Leverkusen and Xabi Alonso, of course, but it's just the way of the beast. Bayern Munich are probably through to the round of to the quarterfinal stages, even without playing the second leg. But of course, anything can happen in the Champions League. They shouldn't take their eye off the ball or take it for granted. We know that stranger things have happened before, but it is very unlikely that this 3-game swing is going to go against Bayern in this particular game, in my opinion. Also tonight, Internazionale. I don't know why I said it like that. That was weird, Jamie Carragher, sort of weird. They take on Feyenoord. Inter going into this game with a 2-goal lead. I can't see them losing this. Inter are at home. Inter have got an immense defensive record. Are you seriously suggesting that Feyenoord will have to at least score 2 goals to take it into extra time, maybe keep their nerve and take it into penalties, or even score 3 goals across the entire night at the very least against this Inter side? I don't think that's ever going to happen. So therefore, I'm going to predict that Inter are safe and soundly through to the quarterfinal stages. I don't think they are going to be caught from that position. Moving on to Wednesday's games, and first up, Lille against Dortmund. This one hangs very much in the balance after a 1-1 draw last week. I predicted Lille to go through when the draw was made, and I'm sticking with that prediction. I think the French side being at home is going to be a massive home advantage, and I think that they will have the opportunity, the capacity, the facilities, the players, the quality, the talent to knock out last year's runners-up in Borussia Dortmund. And I would safely assume that Lille will be meeting, I believe, Barcelona in the next round of the competition, should my predictions, of course, come to fruition. Next up, Arsenal versus PSV. This one's over. Arsenal won 7-1 last week. An incredible performance by the Gunners. An incredible scoring display. PSV got their tactics all wrong, in my opinion. Their defensive display was absolutely abysmal. And are you seriously suggesting that PSV have any hope of turning this tie around? They will need to score a minimum of 6 goals to take it into extra time, and then maybe penalties. 7 goals if they want to win it across the 90 to 120 minutes on the night. I do not see that happening ever. Ever. In fact, what are the odds of PSV winning? 66 to 1. Arsenal don't even have odds because it's that much ridiculous. 66 to 1 on Sky Bet, for those of you that are interested in maybe having a punt on that, of PSV getting through this tie. In all honesty, 66 to 1 might actually be quite low, to be honest. Like, I was expecting it to be a bit more. But, yes. That game is over and done with. Arsenal are safe and soundly through to the next round of the competition. This is a good opportunity for Arsenal, in my opinion, to maybe rotate a little bit, swap some players out, put in a few of the kids in the squad, because I don't see PSV scoring 7 goals, or 6 at the very least. And if they do, Arsenal have got some serious problems, more so than just injuries and VAR decisions and whatever other excuses they've been peddling out this season to try and protect Mikel Arteta. Next up, Aston Villa against Club Brugge. Aston Villa, of course, go into this game with a 3-1 lead over Bruges. Now, you can't necessarily take anything for granted in this competition, but this one, again, should be one of the more favourable games to call in terms of who's winning the tie. Aston Villa shouldn't really lose it from here, and especially with them being at home as well. I think the Villa Park crowd are going to be up for this one, and they are going to help feed the energy to the players to get them across the finish line. I'm anticipating Aston Villa to make it safely and soundly into the round of into the last eight. And then finally, the Madrid derby. Atletico versus Real. Real go into this game 2-1 up. And although you could maybe say that Atletico were a little bit unlucky not to come away with a draw last week, it's not the worst result in the world for Atletico, especially with them being at home this time around at the Wanda. But at the same time, Madrid displayed last week what we all sort of know of them in this tournament. They can play poorly and still manage to take their chances when they fall to them. Now, I don't think it's necessarily sustainable, that kind of method, that kind of strategy, because eventually your luck will run out. Luckily, on one night, you will have one night where you'll concede, and the chances that you have will not be taken. It's just what happens in football from time to time. We know that. I said Atletico could spring a surprise here, and I really, really hope they do. Really, really hope they do, but I don't see it happening. I don't necessarily see it I think in this kind of situation, Carlo Ancelotti is basically going to do a Simeone on Simeone, and I think he's basically going to go to the Wanda. He's going to absolutely stink the place out, and then they're going to try and pick apart Atletico on the counter-attack. Vinicius Jr., Mbappe, Rodrigo. Like I say, the quality and the talent is stupendous. And unfortunately for Atletico, I don't see them winning. As much as I want to kind of predict an upset, as much as I want to see Atletico advance and Real Madrid flop, and so, you know, we're guaranteed a new holder this year in terms of, obviously, the defending champions will crash out. I can't see that happening. I think the way the scoreline is set, the way that I see the game going, I think Atletico will be crashing out. Real Madrid will be advancing to the quarterfinals, and they will probably meet Arsenal. They will probably meet Arsenal in the last 8 of this competition. And there you have it. Those are just the thoughts, comments, opinions, but most of all, of course, predictions from this guy on how I think each and every single game will go across the next couple of nights of Champions League action. Let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? Let me know your thoughts, your comments, opinions, feelings. But most of all, of course, let me know your predictions down below in that comment section. Would love to hear from you all on what you have to say about the Champions League that is going to be taking place tonight and tomorrow night. I'm sure it'll make for great and interesting reading. Otherwise, hit the like button on the way if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you are new or want to see more content like this. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Thank you all for your continued or brand new support to the channel. Whichever one it is, you guys are absolutely awesome, and I am greatly appreciative of every single one of you. It will never be taken for granted, so thank you all so much for that support. It really does mean a lot to me. And yeah, I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video, and I will see and speak with you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers guys, thanks everyone for watching. Take care. I'm about to be very, very nervous for the next several hours in the build-up to the Liverpool game. So, yeah, we shall see how that one goes. See you all soon, guys. Take care. Enjoy the football tonight if you're watching.